This is everything that you will need to create world-class bubble juice. This is going to be your dipping container, which you will also use for doing the mixing. It needs to hold a little bit more than 2 quarts of fluid, a packet of bubble power powder. You'll need a fork for mixing, a tablespoon measure for measuring, and a 1 cup measuring cup. This is a glass that you're going to use to mix some bubble goo, and some Dawn Pro dishwashing liquid, which we supply and we think makes for the best bubbles. So the first step is to take the glass, and you're going to use this to mix what we call a slurry. And take your bubble powder pack and shake it a few times to make sure that the powder goes to the bottom. And then snip off the top, and then empty the entire contents of the packet into the glass. It's very important that you get it all. The next step is to measure 1 tablespoon of the detergent, and then you're going to do what we call making the slurry. And you want to stir it around until you don't see any clumps. It might start to become slightly foamy. That's okay. Now measure out at 1 more tablespoon. And now you're going to go ahead and measure out 4 more tablespoons. Two, 3, 4. That gives us a total of 6 tablespoons, which is 3 fluid ounces. And you want to go ahead and mix that again until it's uniform. Now take 1/2 cup of warm water. Warm water is important. And add a little bit at a time as you stir. You can stir kind of gently. Now when you first add the liquid, the solution won't be very viscous. But keep on stirring, and you'll want to stir for 2 to 3 minutes. You can stir somewhat vigorously, but you don't want to foam it up too much. Now, after a couple of minutes of stirring, you'll see you have kind of a ropey, mucousy, slimy mix. And we're going to set that aside while we measure out some water. Now we're going to measure out 7½ cups of water. There's 1/2 cup, 2, 3, 4, and now we take the bubble goo that we mixed up earlier and we add it to our water. Stir gently. You don't want to foam it up. You might want to dip in the cup and get the last little bit of goo that sticks. And stir it until it seems mixed evenly. And now you're ready. You can use the bubble juice right away. Many people feel that it improves if you leave it overnight. Some quick tips for using your bubble wand. The first thing is to keep the wand tips together when you dip the wand, both putting it in and bringing it out. If there's wind, stand with your back to the wind so that the wind carries the bubble away from you. If there's strong wind, don't open the wand all the way. To close the bubble, bring the wand tips together.